Chetachi and the River's Secret is an African fictional story about a young girl destined to save an entire village from a dangerous serpent spirit. Have fun as you enjoy this magical story. Episode 2 begins. Chetachi went helping her mother in the kitchen as they prepared dinner together. They ate and dined together and had all gone to bed, but that night, Chetachi could not sleep. The boy's words echoed in her heart like the rippling water. Chetachi lies awake, staring at the moon through the hot window until she was carried away by sleep. Days passed, and the village of Adoda began to notice strange things. The river ran slower than usual despite the rains. And as they were still complaining, the fishermen returned without fishes as they all complained that the fishes are dying in the river. The village ruler gathered all the elders in the village as they discussed about the calamity befalling them. So many villagers also gathered at the ruler's palace to lay their complaints and seek solutions. The river spirits are angry. Something is stirring beneath the waters, one of the elders said, and they decided to consult the native doctor and found out why he's been silent. The native doctor told them to remain calm. The native doctor said, "There's a war beneath the river, but the gods already sent a savior among us." Chetachi and her parents were among those who visited the village ruler's home, and as they walked home, Chetachi still reminds her parents about her encounter with the river boy, and at this point, her parents had to believe her and they told Chetachi to always let them know about anything happening. One night, the river called to Chetachi in her dreams. In her dreams, Chetachi dreams of the water boy standing at the center of the glowing stream. Behind him looms a dark shadow rising from the depths. The boy said to Chetachi, "Chetachi, the time is near. The waters will rage, but you must be brave." Chetachi woke up that morning and narrated her dream to her parents. They gave her a few words of encouragement and support. During the afternoon, she went to confide in her friends about her encounters. Amarachi and Obina promised to stand by her till the end. The three children huddled together under the shade of the mango tree, with serious but determined faces. Days passed, the calamity began. Chetachi was in the farm doing the weeds with her friends when all of a sudden the ground shakes near the riverbank. Villagers scream as water bursts from the stream, flooding small farms. Chetachi grabs her friends' hands, staring toward the rising water as they ran for safety together with everyone in the farm. The entire village was flooded. Chetachi ran to safety with her friends and they all knew that the boy's prophecy had begun to unfold. And only Chetachi, child of the river, could uncover the truth hidden in the waters. Chetachi stands among other villagers as she fears what could happen next. Few days passed and the flood went down. Villagers became afraid as they don't know when the river will rise again. Chetachi knew she had to be ready for what will happen next. Meanwhile, as she sat thinking, a loud voice was heard and people were running. Warriors were seen running towards whatever is pursuing people away, but they were no match to a fierce lion that came out of nowhere to attack the village. The lion was so strong that it took out all the warriors on his way until he got to the village ruler's home. More warriors were there to stop the lion, but they were no match either. The people were in panic, but then Chetachi steps in with fear for not knowing what will happen to her, but she became more courageous when she noticed the lion getting calm. The closer she got, Chetachi was able to calm the lion and send it back to the spirit world where it came from. Everyone in the village was amazed and happy as they finally know who their savior is. Chetachi was applauded by the village ruler as the celebration was ongoing. The native doctor cuts in and urged everyone that there's no time for celebration. Chetachi has to get ready to visit the underwater to get the solution for what is happening in the village. He took Chetachi away on a walk to his shrine for preparations. A day after, the water glows, and the boy rises once more, his tail shimmering brighter than before. As Chetachi was seen waiting for him at the riverbank, he reaches out a hand toward Chetachi and said, "Chetachi, the calamity has begun. Come with me. The truth lies beneath. Chetachi replied, hesitant, but brave. If this is my destiny, I will follow. She takes his hand and is pulled under. And so, Chetachi entered the world beneath. The world beneath was breathtaking, with tunnels of glowing coral, schools of shimmering fish, pillars of pearl and stone. And there, in a great hall lit by pearls, sat the spirits of the river, ancient and mighty, their eyes like flowing streams. Child of Adoda, one said, you have been chosen. The serpent stirs, and only you can stand against it. But why me? Chetachi whispered. I am only a farmer's daughter. Because your heart flows pure, like the river itself, the spirit answered. Suddenly, the waters trembled. From the far depths, a monstrous shadow slithered, its eyes burning red. The serpent of the deep. The spirits gathered around Chetachi. If you are to face the serpent, you must be tested. Her first trial was a trial of breath. Cast into endless waters, fear threatened to drown her. But she remembered the boy's words, the water is not your enemy. Calm filled her, and to her wonder, she found she could breathe freely, the river itself filling her lungs. The second was a trial of kindness. A wounded fish lay trapped in a swirling current. Voices whispered, leave it, your true enemy is the serpent. But Chetachi bent down, cradling the tiny creature. Even the smallest life matters. At her touch, the current stilled, and a path of light opened. The third was the trial of courage. Before her loomed the serpent itself, vast and terrible, eyes glowing like fire. Though trembling, Chetachi stood tall. I will not run. I will not let you take my village. The vision faded, and the waters glowed brighter. The spirits crowned her with beads and shells that shimmered with river light. You are no longer only a child of men, they declared. You are daughter of the river. When the serpent rises, your spirit will rise against it. The boy's smile was proud and bright. But deep in the shadows, the serpent's eyes burned, waiting. Please follow this page for part 4 and more stories like this.